All right, you got us going, bud?
I think so. Go for it, Tom.
All right, well, I'm not logged on to watch this. But anyways, before we get going, the new thing is we got to talk about our sponsors a little bit. Of course, we got Huset's. Mother's Day is right around the corner. Going to be here before we know it. Looking forward to it. High Bank Nationals, big event this summer. We're even doing the golf thing.
We are. We did sign up for that.
Yep, you told me we did. I still ain't paid you for that, but hey. Anyways, and then we got My Race Pass. Got to have that if you're into racing because they cover a lot of tracks. S2F, start to finish, another streaming service. Their big one is Power I, but they cover several tracks on a regular basis. Well worth it for checking out. I don't think we got enough TVs anymore. Mount Tabor Cabinetry out in Central PA. Need some cabinet work done, give Chris a call. Morning Sun Marketplace, flea markets, food, whatever you want. I think you can find it there probably from the way I've looked on the website. Turn 2 Lodge down at Knoxville. Need a place to stay just outside the track. You can walk. It's perfect. Fulkins Brothers Trucking, and of course Hero Haven.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, another one that we should, you know, we're going to have Chase Randall on here in a second, though, but before we go live, but you know, we should see if there's any way we can get Alba on.
Dennis, I know.
All right. Here we go, Tobe. You ready?
I'm as ready as I'm going to get. Maybe. Yeah, there you
Hey,
go.
Hoagie's Garage. You got to push the button
Got to
twice.
push the button to get her going, but it always helps.
But Hoagie's Garage, take 2 tonight, and this is going to be another great one. We got Chase Randall. How you doing, Chase?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me on again. It's good to talk to you guys again.
You bet.
Oh, did you hear that, bud? We didn't run him off, so we did something right the last time we had him on.
Absolutely. We had you on before because you were probably winning at Huset's, I take it. Didn't we have you on from a win or something like that at Huset's?
Yeah, back in the 2023 season, we got picked up a couple of wins at Huset's and I got to hop on your show and had a good time. So glad you guys, wanted to have me back on here again.
Yeah, well, we can just warn people, if they come to Houston and you ain't been there before, we're probably going to ask you if you want to be on our show. Win or lose, if you're new, we're going to talk. So.
Absolutely. It's the best way for us to talk to people. So
it's the easiest way. It's so much easier to talk face to face, and then we don't have to try and find them on social media and things and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Chase, you've been kind of busy this winter.
Yeah, we've been been really busy. Not even getting into racing season back in America yet, but I've already got 10, 15 races under my belt. Down in Australia this past winter, a few months ago, and had a lot of fun down there. Racing. Got to do it again for my 3rd year in a row with Daniel Mason and the Easy Print team. With DKM Motorsports, and had a great time. Traveled the eastern side of Australia, and had a lot of fun racing. So it was good to do that again, and like I said, had a lot of fun. But I'm really looking forward to the season coming up here back in America.
So, overseas, do you take any of your own stuff over there, Chase, or do they have it all there for you?
This past year, we actually sent one of my older frames that I had sitting in the shop down there as one of our cars to run. But all the equipment that I run down there is the exact same that I would have here. So basically, we just shipped one car down there, and everything else we just what's there or was purchased there, and it was assembled as a exact copy to my race car basically here with with the Schnee chassis and the CSI shocks with our Stanton Racing engine. So basically everything, try to keep it the same as as it can be for me, and then it just helps me, like I said, keep getting laps. And when I come back here in America, I'm up to didn't have a few months off like other drivers, so I can stay sharp and hopefully get back in the groove quicker.
No, we're glad things went well for you, and I mean you stayed healthy down there because it seemed a little dangerous in Australia this year with the guys getting hurt down there and all. So you got to be careful what you do. But how did that all go for you down there? I mean, were you satisfied with everything, or give us a little rundown on how Australia went?
Yeah, of course. Overall, I was really satisfied. This past year, was a big year for our team and with Daniel Mason. Like I said a few seconds ago, we had a huge sponsorship from Brand Australia down there. Just was able to get connected with the right people, and all the doors kind of opened in the right areas, and we were able to get a sponsorship from them and create a good partnership. I feel like for a while, and some friendships along the way, and have just had a really good time down there. Didn't get the results we wanted to at the big races, but we did really well, and we provided a great showing for our team, and did everything that we really wanted to do as a whole. So I'm really proud of that, and looking forward to the future when I go back again.
So what is the biggest difference when you go over to Australia? Is it tires? Is it the tracks? What are some of the biggest differences you face when you go over there?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like one of the biggest differences is the tires, and they're just constructed a little differently. They're a little bit wider and a little bit softer, and there's also they also don't have really a tire rule, so they have multiple different compounds and manufacturers you can run. So that's the biggest thing, like the difference that you can get from here and there. But like I said, we like to keep our our cars try to be the exact same I can run. It's just the biggest difference is the tires, I could say, and as well as the tracks. There's a couple of them that are similar to America in size, but a lot of them are way smaller and a lot flatter in shape and things like that. So there's quite a few differences between here and there, but we try to eliminate as much as we can.
Just people are commenting, so I'm just going to tell you, Chase. Ethan Nelson says hi, and
What's up?
and then Peyton. I'm sorry, Peyton. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name, but she says Chase equals Rookie of the Year, so she's putting you up there pretty high right away.
That's awesome.
But I'm not going to try her last name. I'm sorry, because that would just be bad.
Hey, we screw up Hookabeen and Agason
I
all
know,
the time, Joel. But
Well, here,
come on, no, you
say it, bud.
Paige, I gotta see it first. Ormatego. Paige Ormatego.
Okay.
I have no clue. But anyhow.
And Jeff Sexton says hi from Waco.
Hey, how's it going, Jeff?
Everybody's watching the show here. Holy
Everybody,
cow,
yeah.
man! You got all kinds of fans, man.
Because where are you originally from in Texas?
I'm from Waco, Texas.
Waco, that's what I thought.
Right in Central Texas.
Yep.
That's
I
good.
do believe I've been there once in the truck when I was like 8 or 9. Don't remember a thing about it, but I seem to remember going to Waco once in the truck with Dad.
And where are you living now?
So currently, right now, I'm in Brownsburg, Indiana. This is where where our new shop is for this season, and kind of where our home base is going to be. So I'm up here in Indiana now.
So is that by Sharpley?
Yep.
Dave Sharpley's shop?
Yeah. So actually, we are literally next door neighbor. Our shop is next door to Sharpley's.
Yep.
That's what I thought he said.
We had Dave on the show, and it sounds like we need to come down just to hang out in that area right by you guys for a day or two, just to see everything that's there.
I mean, so right where we're at, we're right next to, like Dave, like I said, and Competition Suspension, CSI Shocks is, right across the street, along with Spike Chassis is over on the other side as well, and quite a few race shops just in this area, so that's the place to be.
Well,
Dave invited us down, and it's like he got to rattling it all off, and we're like, we're gonna have to come for a week,
Yeah.
just to hang out every time.
Yeah, I hope you use his Sharpley inserts.
Oh, I do, definitely. I mean, I started using, so I'm 20 years old now, and I've used Dave's seat since I was about 7 in quarter midgets, every step of the way since then. So he builds one of the best products, and we like to do everything we can to keep me as safe as possible.
You bet. That's a good thing.
So, before we go on any further, I gotta ask about this now because I don't remember it. Austin Nuss brings this up. Said, love the time Chase flipped in his heat, won the B, then won the A main at 34 Raceway with the Sprint Invaders.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That had to be quite a show you put on.
Yeah, so that was a couple of years ago now. That's when we were focused on racing the 360 track championship at Knoxville, and didn't have a lot of racing planned that year. Like I said, we were focused on Knoxville, and there was a couple of Spring Invader races pretty close to kind of where we were at, and you know, our good friend Jamie Ball was, you know, racing for a team at that time on the Sprint Invaders, and kind of told us about the races, and we were kind of intrigued and kind of went down there. You know, that was our opening race at 34 Raceway, and you know, had some misfortune in the heat race. You know, kind of didn't get the, you know, right out of the gate like we wanted, and you know, got into a wreck in front of us, and you know, decided to, you know, I mean, the car was pretty much destroyed, honestly, everything except the frame and motor. You know, we replaced the rear end and the front end and, you know, top wings and everything like that. So we were in the fourth heat race, matter of fact, and you know, had to come back for the B main, you know, right after that. So we only had a quick break, but you know, got it all tuned up, and you know, barely pushed out for the B, and, you know, and won the B, and was able to come back to the truck and, you know, get it all, you know, finished up, and then, you know, went out for the A and won it. And you know, wasn't planning on running the points for the Spring Invaders at that time, but you know, we won the race, and it was sitting pretty good, so we kind of decided to ride it out, and you know, had a lot of fun with them, and you know, got several more wins along the way that year.
Yeah, absolutely. That kind of sounds like Houston's a few years ago. I mean, you kind of came up and won a race, and it's like, okay, maybe we need to keep coming up here for a while.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the exact same story. You know, we went up to Houston for, you know, a race just to go up there, and you know, like you said, we won for, you know, opening night, and decided, you know, we're in the right position now. We just got to keep coming back, and you know, unfortunately didn't kind of end up the way we wanted, but you know, we've had a great run and was ended up second in points for their season, so I was pretty proud of that.
Now, at the end of the year, at the Outlaw Show, weren't you in was it the 12X car? What car?
The Beaver car?
No, it wasn't the Beaver.
Actually, I was in the Cruel 14H at that time.
There you go. My bad. Yep,
Gee,
14. Hey, I was close. 1, 2.
Two numbers off. That ain't all bad for you and me.
But you ran well.
Yeah, we did really well. So, you know, at that time, I was kind of, you know, just looking around, hoping to, you know, find a ride at Houston at that point, because I was really wanting to run the High Bay Nationals, and you know, I was able to, you know, have great connections, you know, with Judd Cruel and their family team. So I was able to, you know, get a ride for that weekend, and was, you know, kind of outstanding performance. I feel like, you know, I wasn't, I didn't really know what to expect going into it. You know, I was always great friends with them, but didn't really know anything about their car or things like that. I just, you know, was really introduced to them, you know, the night before racing wise, introduced, you know, putting my seat in. So, you know, ended up having a great time with them, you know, along the way, and it was really fast, and competing up front at a World of Outlaws event was really cool, and something, you know, very special that happened this year.
Yeah, I think I know who's racing up there at Houston for him this year. I don't know if it's been released, so I can't say who it is. I wish I knew if it was released or not. I would say it, but I don't want to say something I'm not supposed to.
Do I know, or did I forget, or?
Well, he races at Knoxville every Saturday.
I know that, but have you told me?
I don't know. But
oh, it's sad, but man, how do we remember even do this? But anyways,
so you know, I'll be honest, Chase. I was waiting to see who you were going to hook up with for this season, and lo and behold, you're running your own car.
Yeah, of course. It was kind of, you know, we got to the point where, you know, I was at the, you know, towards the end of last season, I was, you know, trying to find, you know, the best place, you know, for myself going into this year, and kind of the intentions I had on where I wanted to race. And, you know, like I've said to a couple of people, you know, nothing really could get finalized the way I wanted and in the right place. So I kind of felt like it was, you know, the best decision for me. And after talking with my dad, you know, we decided, you know, let's just try to put this together again, and, you know, have the intention to go run High Limit. That's kind of where I want it to be. And I feel like, you know, as you know, as I see myself progressing in my career, I feel like now is the time where I need to go on a tour and, you know, see more tracks and parts of the country and gain that experience that I've kind of set myself up for. And that's kind of how it all started, and, you know, got it all put together.
So, the jump to the traveling series, I mean, that's got to be a a pretty big step. I mean, there's got to be a lot of stuff got to fall into place and get organized just to make the trip everywhere, I would assume.
Yeah, of course. That's really what we're doing right now. You know, at the shop this week is, you know, getting all the cars prepped, but now it's getting all the little things in order, and to, you know, allow that us to, you know, operate at the highest level, and allow everything to run smoothly each and every night. You know, little things that doesn't involve the car, with, you know, the way, you know, got to keep the truck, you know, up to maintenance, to the trailer and everything all fitted out to where everything is, you know, in the right spot where we can go for the whole year, and top performance.
How many cars does it take? I mean, how many are you preparing right now? Since we haven't seen your shop before, you know, is it 3 cars, 4 cars, or more or less?
Right. So I mean, each team's different in kind of however much they can, you know, really, you know, handle or produce, or the amount of equipment they have. But you know, we're building 3 cars right now. We're going to be having 2 cars in the trailer, you know, at all times, and the third one will be at the shop, and, you know, in case we need it at all. But and I think we have, you know, 1 or 2 more on order that'll be, you know, just sitting as frames in the shop until we need them. But that's kind of, you know, where we're at right now, and I feel like is a really good, you know, starting point for us.
Yeah.
And kind of, you know, we've never really, you know, done this before, you know, on a national scene, so we're kind of going into it with what we think is correct, but we're going to soon find out if that's good or not.
Well, in a perfect world, them 2 new chassis will still be sitting there this fall when the season's over. Didn't need
That's
them.
Yeah, of course. That's our goal.
So I got to ask, when you guys taking off for Vegas?
So we're planning on leaving. So like I said, we're in Indiana now, and we're planning on leaving on Monday the 10th to head out there.
Huh.
So we'll, you know, leave on Monday and then, you know, truck out there. I think it's 26 hours that we've mapped. So it's going to be quite a haul, but, you know, we're ready for it.
Same day I'm leaving.
Yeah, my
You're probably leaving in the morning. I'm leaving after work.
Are you heading out there?
Yep.
That's awesome.
So we'll stop by and say hi at some point in time. We'll say hi to you.
There you go.
Not me. Just
not Bud.
this guy's a
Bud's
county worker.
Bud's got to
and-
have a school job. He thinks he can't get off from teaching. But so yeah, I'm
Not everybody gets so many weeks as you do off though. I just get the whole summer. You get
Yeah.
a lot of weeks.
Steve was nice enough to take me along again. So
Steve Falkins. So Falkins Brothers Trucking, they're pretty nice to tow. They're right here in Leicester. So they're taking off Monday morning, and they'll be down there seeing you, watching you. So
There you go. That's awesome.
yeah.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm
You
just
should.
a little bit excited. I'm not shaking or nothing. I'm not that excited yet.
Oh,
But I ain't never been in that part of the country ever.
yeah.
Really?
No, I don't get out much.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I made it to PAA on account of Steve last year, and I'm making it to Vegas this year for Steve. And yeah, otherwise I did some things in the truck with Dad when you were little, but then you were hauling livestock, so you never stopped,
Yeah.
other than to eat and
Right.
get fuel. But so, anyways, yeah, we'll be out there.
What? I mean, you're gonna probably be going to a ton of tracks that you've probably never been to in your life. How do you handle situations like that? I mean, do you have like a base point that you always start with and then kind of go from there, or how do you guys gonna do that this year?
I mean, yeah, that's basically exactly it. You know, we've done quite a few races now with building our package. You know, we haven't, you know, like I said, ran our car in about a year now. So, but we know what works and kind of what I like. So we kind of have like a starting point. We'll start the year off of, and you know, just basically go from there. You know, we like to keep it the same, just a few super small changes from track to track. You know, based on just with stagger wise, and you know, just depending on how big the track is, you could say.
Yep.
But you know, we like to show up to each track with, you know, a very similar package so it makes me the most comfortable. Because, you know, if you go to, you know, different tracks and you have so many different things to start out the night, you never really know if it's really the car or not, or if it's just circumstance on how the track is. So, you know, at that point we you know, kind of know what I'd like to feel, and then have a certain set of adjustments we like to go first, and kind of go from that point.
Now, you're part of the younger generation because you're quite a few years younger than me and Bud. But if the tracks you're going to that you haven't been to, if they're on like that iRacing, would you sit down and race them then with iRacing? Does that help?
I wouldn't. I don't think it. Honestly, I don't think iRacing is that similar to
Okay.
the real feel of it. I do think there's some benefits of it though. Like if there's a track that you haven't been to before, you can, like I've used it before. Say like going to Williams Grove or Knoxville for the first time, just to get the kind of the feel of driving it, you could say.
The entry points
like
maybe into the
inside the
corner,
car
can the
feel
guy
is
get them
different.
off? The entry points, can a guy get those off of iRacing? Like the corner, what part of the wall
Yes.
you want to turn at and so on?
Correct. Yes, that's kind of what I was like meaning as kind of when you're
The feel of
racing
it,
the
yep.
track on iRacing, getting that feel of how the track is in your eyes and things like that.
Yeah.
Because we've tried a little bit with Ty's when he's had it set up in here. I tried to race. It's not impressive by any means, but so it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. If we win the lottery, we're getting a couple of them big fancy simulators, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna suck at it, but we're gonna have a lot of fun.
It's so much safer for Tobe and I to just sit in a simulator than anything else. Probably
It's
than.
fun though.
Don't have big enough cojones to get in a real one.
That's right.
Right.
Our brother, my brothers, not our brothers, my brothers.
Well, they're kind of like mine.
Yeah, went to Daytona and got in a ride along, and so they have a driver, and they sat right beside him. So they were I think they got up to 176,
175 or so, yeah.
and they were literally like a foot from the wall, and they're in the passenger side, so they're literally almost scraping the wall. So
Right.
they had a blast with that. So.
I would imagine that would up your heart rate a little.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your absolute favorite track to go to?
Right now, I mean, based because I've raced there so much, I feel like my favorite track right now is Knoxville. But I think this year, hopefully, seeing a lot of new places, that's going to change. But I think Knoxville right now, just because I've raced there so much.
Yeah. Have you set yourself any goals for this year? Like, 5 top 3s or anything like that? Or have you set anything, or are you just hoping for the best?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, we always have goals, whether they're big or small.
Yep.
And one of my main goals is to win Rookie of the Year. I feel like this year is going to be pretty tough with the rookie field, and a lot of us, obviously, going on the national tour for the first time. That's one of my big goals, and I want to pick up 1 or 2 wins along the way. I think that'd be a huge accomplishment for us.
Yep.
And I also want to finish top 10 in points because I think that's will be a great achievement for us, and it'll be a ton of hard work, but it'll be very good satisfaction getting from that, and I think will be a good accomplishment for us if we can achieve that.
Yeah, I don't know what this charter all entails, what it all means.
No one does yet, I don't think.
But are you eligible to possibly get one of those if you finish in the top whatever this year?
So, kind of how their series works at the moment, we're not eligible for one just because we haven't ran both, or you have to run both of the first 2 years to be eligible.
Oh, okay.
To get one, but I'm not sure kind of how that all works entirely. That's just kind of what I understand at the moment. But obviously we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna do the best we can, and hopefully, try to put us in position for one if that comes available or things like that, because you never know what could happen.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's racing. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and then you're starting down south and going out west. Have you been to any of, say, the first 10 racetracks ever before?
So, actually, luckily, I've been to a couple of them out there before. I've actually been to Las Vegas a couple of years ago, and was able to actually get a win out there with the Bandit Sprint Series it's a series from Texas, and they had a race out in Las Vegas, and we went out there for it and got a win. And so I think that's going to really, really help me for that first night and kind of the first couple of races out there with high limits, just getting that knowledge from being at that track before. and looking to the second week of racing at Tulare, it will be really cool. I've been to Trophy Cup a couple of times, so I'm really looking forward to getting there for a 410 in the first time. But those next couple out in California I haven't been to before. We're going to Kern Raceway after that, and Paris as well. That's Paris. I'm really looking forward to. Watching a lot of USAC racing from there. Several years is pretty cool and kind of really high speed track.
Yeah.
And then heading out to Arizona a few weeks after races after that, and getting back to Indiana after those races.
Yeah, because that's got to be huge. The first 3 races, you could say, the 2 tracks that you've been there. That's got, because there has to be a little jitters, nerves, whatever you want to say, going on a national series right away. But if you can go to 2 tracks you've been to right away, that's got to help a bunch, I would think.
Yeah, it definitely helps, and that's I'm really been fortunate that they kind of really go to tracks I've been to, like you said, just to eliminate some of the not problems, but
Yep.
Factors that go into it, just to try to have speed right out of the gate, and get as like you said, those first 2 laps we'll have, or first 3 or 4 laps we'll have, is going to set us up for the night or the rest of the whole weekend. So
And then
make sure they're good right off the start.
Then like you said, you didn't, your goal is to get in the finish in the top 10. Well, then if the first 3 nights or tracks you've been to, that maybe will eliminate you from digging that hole, from having bad nights right away. Because that point system, the points, you don't want to start down too far because it's hard to catch up with them boys.
Definitely.
Yeah. And again, we have Chase Randall on. What do you feel like are you most excited about? I mean, is it just the overall going on a national tour? Is there individual things that you're excited about, or, and maybe that's a dumb question, I don't know.
No, I mean, I think the whole thing is really exciting for me. I feel like just going on the national stage, competing at the highest level, it's been one of my goals for a long time now, and finally getting to do that is really cool, and I'm looking forward to it. I feel like I've set myself up and done a lot of preparation to be in this position I'm in, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun along the way, but I'm just looking forward to the whole thing, and just getting to race consistently I think is going to be a really big thing for me, because I think once I start going really well, I think it just all builds for me, and I can take a lot from each night, and I think it all compounds. So if we can I think if we get off to a good start, we can. There's a lot of upside and a lot of potential for us.
Yeah. As we get further into the year, I'm assuming, I'm sure you'll run the Knoxville Nationals, and then I know you got the open week yet for the High Banks at Houston. Will you be showing up for that one also, or?
Yes, we're definitely going to be at those 2 events.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Then Bud can say hi to you if you come to Houston.
Yeah.
Bud thinks he's skipping the Nationals this year too, so.
Well, my daughter's having
Maybe.
our first grandkid, so
Maybe. That's just around her due date.
Yeah. August 10th is when she's due, and who knows what state or where they'll be at that time, because her husband's going to be a doctor. So,
I see.
yeah.
I just got to pick on Bud a little
just
bit, just because I can.
But, maybe for race fans, we see it different as, than a driver. And you're probably used to it by now. But is there anything different knowing that you're going to get to see, Kyle Larson almost every Tuesday? That you're racing against Brad Sweet, who's won how many championships in a row?
6.
There has to be a little bit of something. I mean, as race fans, I think we get giddy every time we see him. But, what's it like for a driver?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as a driver, I mean, you think about that occasionally, but as a driver, you see them just as another driver.
Yeah.
On the track, they're nobody different. Everybody's in very, very similar equipment now these days. It's just whoever can make it work the best. And honestly, they're the top of the top right now. They're the best. But that's kind of why we we kind of go up against them and put this in those positions, because we want to. That's how you improve yourself, and that's one of the most things that I'm looking forward to this year is racing with the best drivers. That's how I'm gonna get better myself.
Yep. And as
Absolutely.
the old saying goes, everybody puts their fire suit on the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you don't get to be the best unless you race the best.
No.
So, but, I did see on your car that you have some new sponsors, and, you know, I think we need to make sure you get to mention those, and, you know, just go ahead with those.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of interest in our team this year, and a lot of was able to make a lot of good connections these past couple of seasons, and I think everything all helps out to make this all possible. Like there's a lot of people putting into this to get us out on the national stage for I-11 on the traveling series, and it really wouldn't be possible without Dennis Allball, your alternative. He put a lot of into this, and I'm really looking forward to representing him well, along with Will Ewing with Infamous Inc. From Waco. They're him and Lefty are really excited for what we're doing, so they want to be a part of it. Along with Bob Perry with Two Worlds Equestrian, they're really good friends of ours that we've met out in California, and we're looking forward to seeing them in Las Vegas in a couple of days now. Along with Daniel Mason at Easy Print, he's been a good supporter of mine for several years. With Bush's Chicken, my dad's putting a lot into this as well, and kind of the backbone of it and making it all happen. So I'm looking forward to it, and got a lot of partners, and with GRI Gunderson Racing, I'm really excited that he's been able to get on board this year. We've had a lot of fun with him the past couple of seasons. When we go up to Houston, seeing him, and looking forward to all of our partners that we have for this year and representing them well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm kind of running out of ideas, Bud, so I don't know how much longer we want to keep the young man.
Well, I think the biggest thing we wanted to cover, the high limit is starting shortly.
Yeah.
And, we just wanted to touch base with you, Chase, and your new car design, I think, is absolutely
Looks sharp.
So who comes up with that?
I like it.
Did you come up with that, or who comes up with the car design?
Well, I had a few ideas, but he either designed he's from New Zealand. He was the artist that kind of created it. I kind of gave him a few ideas of, a couple of color schemes I had, and kind of where all the logos really needed to be, but he kind of made it all fit together and flow, and did a really good job, and he was able to send me several different options, and we kind of moved some colors around and swapped some stuff, and then kind of ended up with what we have, and it turned out extraordinary. I'm really excited to get on the track with it, and it should be really cool from the stands and on the camera.
Yeah. So he designed them, put them together. Who actually puts it on the car? You, or do you have a group out there in Indiana that does it?
So, luckily enough, where our shop is located, there's a shop in the exact same complex we're in, Excalibur Graphics, and he was able to print all the graphics and install them, and did a great job, and kind of what allowed it to look so well, the sticker quality and the perfect placement that he does, and it just all turns out really well, and was really able to make it all happen.
Yeah.
See, that's that complex. We got to go down there, Bud. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we got to go. Apparel. You've got some new stuff out. Where can people get a hold of that now?
Of course, yeah. We just launched our T-shirts and our hats and mini wing panels yesterday, and you can get it all on chaserandallracing.com, and we have all of our new stuff and old stuff from this past seasons as well. So make sure you go check it all out, and get it shipped out to you.
That's awesome. Well, Chase, we thank you a ton for being willing to come on. We know you're so busy, and you're taking off here in just a matter of a couple days. And
I can tell you how many, Bud, if you want to know.
and Tobe's just as excited as you are, probably. So,
of course.
Yeah, it's I think just going to be a great summer for you, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm really looking forward to it, and hoping to catch up with you guys soon at the track as well. When I see you guys out in Las Vegas, and hopefully at Houston as well.
All
Yep,
right.
absolutely. All right, take care, Chase.
Thank you guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, Chase.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was really glad you guys can have me on again.
Oh, anytime.